Most gardeners are throwing away some of the most powerful plant food on the planet straight into their trash bins every single day. And here's the controversial claim that might surprise you. Fresh manure, one of gardening's most celebrated inputs, can actually harm your tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers more than help them, introducing pathogens, burning roots with excess ammonia, and spiking nitrogen so aggressively that your plants push leaves instead of fruit. What you're about to discover works more gently, more completely, and costs you absolutely nothing. Tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers are heavy potassium feeders, especially once they start flowering. Potassium governs how sugars move through the plant. It directly controls fruit sweetness, size, and disease resistance. Banana peels are loaded with it. How to use them? Dry your banana peels in the sun or a low oven until they're crisp and dark. Blend them into a fine powder. Mix 2 tablespoons, about 30 grams, of the powder into the soil around each plant. Or dissolve 3 tablespoons, 45 grams, in 4 liters or 1 gallon of water and pour it directly at the root zone. Do this every 3 weeks during fruiting. The reason this works so well is that dried peels release potassium slowly as microbes break them down, mimicking a slow-release fertilizer, without the salt load that synthetic options carry. If you've ever seen the bottom of a tomato or pepper turn black and mushy, that's blossom end rot, and it's caused by calcium deficiency. Not because your soil lacks calcium, but because the plant can't move it fast enough during rapid fruit development. Eggshells fix this. Collect 10 to 12 eggshells, rinse them, and crush them coarsely. Drop them into 2 liters, that's half a gallon of water, and let them soak for 48 hours. Strain the liquid and use it to water your plants at the base, 1 full liter, about a quart, per plant. The calcium leaches into the water and enters the plant quickly through root uptake. You can also crush shells finely and scratch 1 tablespoon, 15 grams, directly into the top inch of soil around each plant at transplant time. This slow-release approach protects the whole season. You know, fresh grass clippings are roughly 4% nitrogen by dry weight. That's actually comparable to a lot of commercial fertilizers. When you use them the right way, they become a really remarkable feeding mulch. Spread a layer that's no thicker than 2.5 centimeters, or about 1 inch, around your tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. But make sure to keep the clippings at least 5 centimeters, or 2 inches, away from the stem. As these clippings break down over 1 to 2 weeks, they release nitrogen steadily into the soil. They also help retain moisture, suppress weeds, and feed the earthworms that aerate your root zone. Now, the mistake most gardeners make is piling them on too thick. A thick mat goes anaerobic, starts to smell, and actually ties up nitrogen instead of releasing it. Thin layers, refreshed every 2 weeks, are really the key. Coffee grounds do carry some nitrogen, but honestly, their real power is a bit subtler. They feed beneficial soil bacteria and fungi that break down organic matter and make nutrients available to your plants. Think of them as, well, a probiotic for your soil. Just work a handful. That's roughly 60 to 80 grams, or about 2 to 3 ounces, into the top 8 centimeters, or 3 inches, of soil per plant, once a month. Alternatively, you can steep half a cup or 120 milliliters of used grounds in 4 liters, which is about 1 gallon of water overnight, then strain and use as a soil drench. One important note, don't use coffee grounds exclusively. Be sure to balance them with the banana peel powder and eggshell tea mentioned earlier. Grounds are just a bit acidic, which tomatoes and peppers tolerate well. But cucumbers prefer a neutral pH, so for them, use the drench form rather than mixing grounds directly into the soil. The runoff liquid that collects at the bottom of a compost bin, sometimes folks call it compost tea, is arguably the most complete free fertilizer you can get. It contains nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, trace minerals, and living microbes. You want to dilute it to the color of weak tea. That's roughly 1 part liquid to 10 parts water, a 1:10 ratio. So 500 milliliters, or about 2 cups, of compost liquid into 5 liters, just over 1 gallon, of clean water. Apply this once every 2 weeks throughout the growing season, right at the root zone. Now, the reason dilution matters is really critical. Undiluted compost liquid can be as root-burning as raw manure. But diluted? It's gentle, balanced, and absolutely teeming with microbial life that sets up your soil for long-term health. So, this week, go ahead and make a batch of banana peel powder and banana peel tea. Apply it to your tomatoes, peppers, or cucumbers and just watch what happens over the next 3 weeks. Are your flowers setting fruit better? Are the leaves looking a deeper, healthier green? Give it a try, and then come back to tell Agronova Hub what you noticed in the comments below. Your results might just help another gardener in this community. And if this kind of practical, science-backed growing knowledge is what you're after, consider subscribing to Agronova Hub right now, because we publish this every week, and the next one might just be the tip that transforms your entire garden season.